Hello! It is absolutely fantastic to see all of you here. They tell me actually that many more folks want to attend, but we literally ran into fire marshal issues for which we're very apologetic, but many more folks are actually watching online. And we're all in for an incredibly action-packed couple of days. We're just thrilled to get things kicked off with all of you. So to get started, I think as probably a lot of you know, the inspiration for the Health Data Initiative was actually the weather and GPS. So decades ago, the government made a very wise decision, which was to start opening up weather data for free electronic download by anybody, which then actually led to an explosion of private sector entrepreneurship and innovation that created things like the Weather Channel, weather.com, iPhone weather apps, even weather insurance, that added immeasurably to the quality of life of Americans and created jobs at the same time. Similarly, in the 80s, President Reagan began to liberate access to the global positioning system, which of course has spun everything from Foursquare on your iPhone to supertanker navigation systems, precision crop farming, and lots of other improvements in American life. In fact, actually, GPS alone is estimated last year to have added about $90 billion in value to the American economy, a product of open government data that actually was used as fuel by private sector entrepreneurs and innovators to turn it into massive awesomeness that helps Americans and create jobs. And so we actually thought, a team of us at the Institute of Medicine, HHS, in the White House, about 2.5 years ago, well, that's an awesome play. Let's run that play again, and let's do it this time with the vast reservoirs of health-related knowledge and information sitting in the vaults of HHS and other agencies. And we started, actually, with, a gathering in March 2010, convened by the Institute of Medicine, about 45 people that we persuaded to sit in a room for 8 hours and talk about the possibilities of liberating health data and turning it through entrepreneurship into products and services to help the American people. We actually, at the time, said, yeah, we think there's something, to this. Maybe we can get, 8 or 9 other people interested, perhaps. And you all are living proof that, yes, in fact, other people are interested in this idea. There are 1,600 plus people. Sorry, this is actually auto-advancing. Can we stop the auto-advancing? Or go back, even better. So 1,600 plus people who are gathered physically here today to take things to the next level. And the gathering sponsored by over 25 organizations led by the Institute of Medicine, Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, California Healthcare Foundation, and many others, showcasing the work of 100 amazing companies and nonprofits that were selected by independent panels of patients, doctors, nurses, community leaders via an American Idol-style competition in which over 240 companies and nonprofits competed. Amazing, amazing stuff. And so in terms of what's new and things to look for at the Datapalooza, happenings in the Health Data Initiative that have happened over the last year in particular, first of all, more data. More data is being made available in machine-readable electronic form, usable by developers and entrepreneurs, more easily accessible. In fact, today we're announcing the launch of the new healthdata.gov. It was built by an intrepid team in a very, very short sprint over the first half of this year. Go check it out. It's got massively improved search capabilities and other important features. Actually, one back, please, if you wouldn't mind. On top of that, actually has 400 data resources you can access for free and turn into products and services and awesomeness in general. In terms of more data, more easily accessible, there's also been great progress on iBlueButton. I think probably most folks in the audience know about iBlueButton. It's an initiative that was launched by the VA in partnership with Medicare and the Department of Defense that enabled about a year and a half ago any veteran, member of the military, or their family, and any Medicare senior to go to a secure website, hit a blue button, and download a copy of their own data. Peter Levin tells the story of how when he was first asked by Secretary Shinseki, how many people will actually be interested in getting their own data, Peter said, well, I think, ultimately if we blow the doors off, maybe 25,000 veterans will ultimately want a copy of their own data. Well, actually, to date, over 900,000 veterans, members of the military, and seniors have actually downloaded a copy of their own data via iBlueButton. It's actually now being cloned across the private sector. Aetna's deployed iBlueButton, United's deploying iBlueButton, Walgreens is deploying iBlueButton, McKesson for its Relay Health patient portal is deploying iBlueButton, states like Louisiana want to deploy iBlueButton. It's spreading across the country.
It is my pleasure now to introduce Bettina Experton, the Chief Executive Officer at Humetrix, Chris Burrow, the Executive Vice President of Medical Affairs at Humetrix, and Randy Ulrich, Senior Vice President of Wireless Applications at Humetrix, to present iBlueButton. Welcome.
Thank you. And good morning. So this morning, Todd Parks told us about this bold and important health data initiative led by the federal government at VA, DoD, CMS called iBlueButton to provide direct and easy access to patients to their medical records. This initiative is now going nationwide with health plan and other organizations. But now let me introduce you to an ONC award-winning application, iBlueButton. iBlueButton is a consumer app, but it's more than a consumer app. It's a mobile health information exchange platform to provide device-to-device communication and data exchange at the point of care between patients and providers when decision is being made and critical access to up-to-date health information is needed to provide cost-effective health care. Talking about health information exchange, the ONC has defined 3 types. One is the query type offered by HIEs. The second one is the directed one, point-to-point, which is offered by the direct protocol. And iBlueButton is a mobile expression of the third type, what the ONC has called the consumer-mediated exchange. And this type of exchange can be available anywhere when patients access care using their mobile device. So iBlueButton is going to be demonstrated in action, pulling data from multiple sources in real time in an automated way, and then using Humetrix technology for pushing those data at the point of care, device to device. So to demonstrate iBlueButton, Randy Ulrich is going to play the role of a veteran with a severe back injury and reaching out to Dr. Chris Burrow, our EVP of Medical Affairs, who is going to be the orthopedist.
Hi, Dr. Burrow. My name is Randy Ulrich, and you were referred to me by a friend who said you're the man to see with back injuries.
Great, Randy. Thanks for coming in to see me. What's the problem?
Yeah, I had a really bad mountain biking injury a couple months ago, and I went to the ER that day and had a CT scan, but I'm really concerned it's not getting any better, and I'm concerned I might need surgery.
I'm sorry to hear that. And before we get started, let's go over your past medical history.
Yes. The good news there is I have this nifty app from Humetrix called iBlueButton that allows me to download my, my iBlueButton health records. So let me just enter in my password. And there we go. So I can go to various different portals. I am a vet, so I get access to My Healthy Vet, but I also get Aetna coverage through my wife's plan. So since I was seen that day by a non-VA facility, let me download instantaneously, right here in real time, my Aetna iBlueButton record.
So what Randy's doing here under his direct control is accessing directly multiple portal, iBlueButton-enabled portal, and then automatically downloading one or more iBlueButton records to store them on his device with the iBlueButton app, and then next he will share those records with his physician right there at the point of care.
Well, Randy, while we're waiting for that to download, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to launch the companion app that you heard about, the iBlueButton Professional, and this is also password-protected, secure, encrypted app. And I've got to remember my password. I guess I'm a little bit nervous. And
that's okay, Doctor. Are you new to this or something? No.
Yeah, it's a tough password.
In any case, my Aetna iBlueButton download has come down. Let me have a quick look at it. The Aetna iBlueButton record is a beautiful PDF. I love this one. And that is my latest, greatest one. And with iBlueButton's magic push feature over here on the left, I will push, after I say yes to this privacy warning, I will push my Aetna iBlueButton record to just you, Dr. Christopher Burrows, so there you are. And so here comes my Aetna iBlueButton record directly to your iPad.
So what we are seeing here are those two apps working in tandem and establishing a secure device-to-device Bluetooth or Wi-Fi communication.
Well, Randy, good news. Here's your record, and let's take a look at it together. It's easier to see on the iPad than it was on your iPhone.
That's beautiful.
And just scanning through it quickly, I see that you've had a life-threatening reaction to penicillin, which we call anaphylactic shock.
Yeah, don't give me penicillin.
Scary.
I've lived with that my whole life.
Okay, and then the other thing I pick up right away is that you're on indomethacin 25 milligrams 4 times a day. And although that's usually safe, that can be toxic, so we'll have to think about that.
Is that too high, do you think?
I think we're going to revise it, and we'll see. Meanwhile, one thing I really love about this app is when any document comes to me from a patient, if I click on that little icon, I see automatically your emergency contact information, primary physician contact information, insurance details, and pharmacy details. So I've got everything branded, if you will, onto that document.
You know, Doc, there's one thing else I'd like to share with you is a CT scan image. This was done the day, I'm going to push this to you right now. This was done the day of my accident when I went into the ER, and boy, those things are expensive. So if there's any way you can help me reduce having another CT scan, redundant service, I would really appreciate it.
So what Randy has done here, he received from the ER where he got that CT scan study done, he received a CT JPEG image. And then he used Dropbox to import that image into his PC and then next to his iBlueButton app.
Okay, Randy, I can see your CT, and rather than talk to you about it there, I'm going to launch Adobe Ideas. And
cool.
I've imported this image that you pushed to me into Ideas, and let's look at this together. So this is a great app, iPad app, and I can see right away, and you should see with me, that you have a pretty severe compression fracture of L3. And what do I mean by severe? Well, what I mean is actually you have multiple bone fragments that have been extruded. This is what we call a burst fracture.
Oh, is that what's causing my pain, do you think?
It is indeed. And yeah, you're quick on that one. So what we can do, because I like to talk to patients about what's wrong with them while they're with me, and I like to draw and show them things.
Yep.
And I think it's valuable. And what I'm going to do, I've imported it back into this app. I'm just going to go ahead and push this right back to you.
Oh, that is great.
And I've got to pick your phone, so it'll go just to you.
Yeah, that's great. My primary care physician, she likes to know my whole medical information across providers, so this is great.
So we are seeing here a very important feature of the iBlueButton platform. Those are not closed-in apps. They are open to other apps. So they can import and export files from other apps, apps which access EMR or HIEs. They can import files which are attached to emails. And here, so we have seen Chris using his Adobe IDs app to mark up Randy's X-ray image and then import it back into iBlueButton to then share it back with Randy.
Yeah, and let's see here. Here it is right here. Well, this is great. You know, thank you so much for helping me understand what's going on with my back, and I have this diagram that I can share with my primary care physician.
Okay, Randy. Well, one other thing I'd like to show you is that after I've exchanged records with you, I have a complete set of all the exchanges we've done, things that you've pushed to me and things that I've pushed back to you, so I can always refer to that in the future.
Okay, can you give me a note or something of what I need to do here for my next follow-up?
You know, that's easy for me to do. Let me write a visit summary for you.
Oh, great.
And to save a little time, I've already written this.
Oh, how convenient. It's so detailed.
Yeah, well, one thing I did remember to do is decrease your indocin dose, because 25 milligrams 4 times a day is really too much. So here we go. I'll just push that visit summary right back to you.
Great, I'll take that for sure.
So Chris here used the built-in feature of writing a note, a visit summary, or patient instruction of the iBlueButton app, but he could have also used his EMR, accessible through his iPad, and generate a visit summary, then open it in iBlueButton, and then push it back to Randy. Also, when we saw the log, the exchange log, the iBlueButton generates, this is a critically important feature for physicians. They can not only keep track of all records received and sent with their patients, but they can also report and their compliance with meaningful use for patient engagement or quality of care metrics.
So here's my visit summary. Everything we went through today, fantastic, because I would probably forget that. And also I have a list, your contact information. When I pushed, it automatically created a contact for you. So we'll definitely need to get a hold of you again. And in fact, I see logs for all the other doctors that I've worked with here throughout my whole back situation. So I've got everything in one place. This is a great revolution for patients and physicians.
Thank you, Randy, and thank you, Chris. And so the demo you have seen, the short demo of some of the features of iBlueButton, was demonstrated with an app we dedicated for veterans called iBlueButton Veterans, which is available to veterans since Humetrix became earlier this year a partner for the VA for its BlueButton health-related program. But today, iBlueButton is available to all Americans, whether you want to access, download, and share at the point of care your Medicare BlueButton record, your health plan, your TRICARE Online BlueButton record, or any other BlueButton record you can access as a patient. iBlueButton gives you that feature. And for physicians, they can download from iTunes, from the iTunes Store, the iBlueButton Professional. And soon will be coming the Android version, and that Android version and the iBlueButton version will be and are cross-platform enabled, so everywhere a patient access care, pulling data from any data source like BlueButton will be able to access in real time his critical health information through that his physician can see that information and that cost-effective coordinated care is provided wherever that patient access care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Fascinating, the stuff that can be done. And you can also see the possibilities for product placement in medical dramas coming up in the years ahead as you just imagine the natural way you can have these conversations.